Hi guys and welcome back to Football Manager 2018 here with Rangers. Going to be taking on Falkirk just now at Ibrox before we have Celtic at Parkhead in 2 weeks time. One loss and 4 victories over Falkirk. So without further ado, let's dive right into the game here. We'll be going with the same back line as we have done in recent fixtures. Tim Gallagher will come onto the bench just now for Daniel Podence. Actually, you know what? You can go in for Henderson. I'll trust Tim Gallagher to go in there alongside Andre Horta today. Shea Ojo can come on the bench for a fief, I suppose. I'm really torn on what to do about Shea Ojo because he's really not done the business since he's been here. But we'll think about that later on. For the squad today, we've got Fulton, Riedel, Densville, Wallace, Houston, Borthwick Jackson, Burjonas, Cataldi, Gallagher, Horta and Morelos. Let's go out, let's take on Falkirk today. This will be more or less the team to play Celtic. Gallagher won't start that game though, we will bring Henderson back in for that. Go and carry straight on where you left off last time out. Beat CSKA Moscow, of course, 4-0 in our last game here at Ibrox. Hopefully more of the same here today. A nice strong result before we go into the Old Firm game. Celtic are away tomorrow against Hamilton, who are going pretty well actually in the early days of this season. So maybe they'll do something against Celtic tomorrow, although we can't really hold our breath on that one. As De Silva Lopez picks it up for Falkirk. Bit of space for O'Hara here, closed down. Flicks it back the way. Cataldi will pinch. Burjonas now. Break is on. Takes his time. Into Gallagher. Lays it to Cataldi. Out wide. Good man. Borthwick Jackson. Morelos moves ahead of him. Borthwick Jackson to take on his fullback. He's come into a game this year. He's beaten. Looking to whip it now. Draws 3 defenders out. Puts it in. It's a diving header clear. Andre Horta though can bend it into the corner. Not even 3 minutes gone in the game. Andre Horta, a lovely strike there in the half volley. Right into the corner of the net. And it's 1-0 already. Exactly the start we would have wanted today. It's a nice break from pinching the ball off Falkirk as well. Borthwick Jackson with great work down that left hand side. As I say, he's came on to a real good game this season, Borthwick Jackson. Denswell with one of those trademark passes out to Borthwick Jackson. Racing down the left hand side. Beats his man again. Whipped in. Morelos is there. Touches it past a couple of defenders. Oh, and hits the bar. Will drop for Houston, whose cross is nodded in by Morelos, who's about 2 miles offside. Miles offside against Alfredo Morelos there. Another booking for Cataldi this time. A lot of players on yellows. We'll want to be getting as many of them as possible actually subbed off. We might leave Gallagher on, sub the other 2. As Fulton goes long, Horta will bring that down. 4 red shirts round him. Finds Borthwick Jackson in space. He could cross from deep or he's taken on Ralston again. Beats him, all ends up. Header away, Gallagher though. Horta. Burjonas has got Houston in, Akers out to the right. He uses him. Jordan Houston arriving into the box. Crosses low, Gallagher arrives and it's a good challenge. Denswell cuts out the long ball though from Falkirk and we can go again. Keep the pressure on. Horta, Cataldi. There goes Borthwick Jackson. Could shoot himself here. Does. Oh dearie me. And that's why he's known more for his assists, Cameron Borthwick Jackson. Well, there we have it. 16-1 the shot count in the first half. 7 shots on target. Sadly, only 1 goal though. Please tell you go and keep it up. I don't think we have to warn them about complacency today. Cataldi will come off for McGinn. Murray Wallace will come off for Ivanildo Fernandez. The rest of the team can continue. I'll tell Tim Gallagher there just to ease off his tackles. But I decided to leave him on because if anybody's going to get sent off with a second yellow and miss the Celtic game, I would rather it be him than Cataldi or Wallace. Cataldi didn't have a great game today, but he's got undoubted quality, of course. So we want him in that starting 11 for the Celtic game coming up. As Tony Ralston goes into the book for Falkirk. He'll move on as well, I think, Tony Ralston. He'll not be at Falkirk for the rest of his career. He's not done all that well today up against Borthwick Jackson, but Borthwick Jackson's a man in form just now. Zach Rudden has actually scored for Dundee. About 20 minutes left in this game. 24-1 the shot count and only 1-0 the scoreline. Substitute to be made. We'll go... We'll throw on Mitchell for Borthwick Jackson. Why not? 50 minutes left. Ralston with a throw for Falkirk, given away to Morelos. Here's Horta now, can bend one for his second. Oh, he's hit the side netting. He should have tried to bend that one far corner of the net there, and he's tried to hammer it in at the near post, gave the goalkeeper the eyes, but he hit the side netting. And our finishing today has been rather poor, actually. Hibs have just blown a 2-goal lead at Easter Road against Dundee. Draws everywhere else apart from here at Ibrox, where we still lead through Horta's goal in the 3rd minute of the game. Looks like petering out. It looks, by the way, like we're not in the kind of form we want to be in going into a Parkhead derby. Although Grant now playing it to Byers, Falkirk could sucker us if we're not careful. Right, close him down. Tony Gallagher now, closed down, hits it off his man, breaks for Morelos. Right, race and get us a second. Oh, Morelos past Grant. He's got to square this. Gallagher, I think, is arriving in the middle. Acres of space, it's in. It's Andre Horta arriving. He's hit the post. Andre Horta could easily have a hat-trick today. He's blown 2 good chances, but he does get the goal that ultimately wins the game 1-0. Falkirk will be relatively proud of this, to be honest. They were never ever going to get in here. 28-1 the shot count, but they've escaped here with a 1-0 defeat. That is not bad for Falkirk. Puts us to the top of the league temporarily. A point clear of Celtic. Craig Brown playing well again for Motherwell. Relatively promising, if raw, that Craig. Excuse me, that Craig Brown. Obviously, we just want to see what happens just now in the Celtic Hamilton game. Then I'll put it on holiday before we go to the Old Firm derby. Celtic Hamilton, go on Hamilton. Oh, 1-0 Hamilton. We will go into the Old Firm derby 1 point clear and as the only unbeaten team left in the league. Actually, let's look at our training just now, team training. We are going to focus on defensive positioning for Celtic and for Bilbao actually coming up in the next episode. So let's just race forward to that Old Firm game. Come back on the 16th. So we're obviously going to play that 3 at the back formation here against Celtic. If we look at our goals scored here, we have 20, that makes us top. We have 11 conceded though, which makes us the 4th best in the league. We're still not solid at the back, although we have conceded 5 of those goals in the opening 2 games of the season when we were still playing our 4-2-3-1 formation. So we need to employ that 3 at the back more. I think we've been doing, obviously recently doing well. That's 2 clean sheets in the past 2 games. It does sometimes affect our creativity though, which I worry about going to Parkhead. Obviously playing Falkirk, they're only managing to beat them 1-0 despite the number of shots we managed to get in the game. Suggests we're not getting into the positions that you really want to get in when you're taking shots. Although in saying that, Andre Horta actually had a couple of poor misses really. So we'll play Celtic with that formation. What we want to do as well, we want to have Tim Gallagher out of the squad, of course. He's not ready to play in an Old Firm game. We'll have Tim Gallagher out of the squad. We'll bring Liam Henderson into the squad against his old side, partnering with Andre Horta just in behind Morelos. It will be Fulton, Riedel, Denswell, Wallace, Houston, Bothwick Jackson, Barjonas, Cataldi, Henderson, Horta and Morelos. That'll be the squad that we play with when we face Celtic here in a week's time. Celtic this season have obviously started really well. Just that poor slip up there at New Douglas Park against Hamilton. They've only lost 1 game all season now. We're in October. Last season I think they'd already lost a couple by this point. They were really poor. Really far off it last season. So we're going to have more of a title chase this year I think. Hopefully we can still do the business. As I say, we are still unbeaten. I believe we are 6-3-0 is our record. 6 wins, 3 draws, no losses. When you consider the fact that 2 of those draws came in the first 2 games of the season. So we've actually went 6 wins, 1 draw and no losses in our past 7 games. So you really can't argue with that. The Dundee draw recently, 2-2, is a bit disappointing. The fact that our draws tend to be, 2-2, 2-2 and 3 each. It's a bit dodgy because we're leaking so many goals at the back, and we bought in the 2 centre backs. We brought in Denswell and Riedel, frankly with the promise of keeping more clean sheets. I thought we were going to be able to keep it solid and it just hasn't worked. I actually thought they'd be able to play in a 4 at the back. You know, the two centre backs there, and Wallace would be reduced to backup pretty much. But unfortunately, putting them in there, the 4-2-3-1, it just didn't work. So we are going, as I say, going to go with that 3 in most of the big games. That'll obviously include this Old Firm derby here, and it'll obviously include as well the game against Bilbao in the next episode. Our under-20s winning in the Petrofac Cup against Queen's Park 4-0, good for them. Connor Moore and Darren Graham getting 2 goals apiece. Whoa! Look at Connor Moore, man. Alright, let's sign him up to a professional contract. 1,000 a week seems perfectly fair. Let's get him. He's going to be moving up to compete with Tim Gallagher, I think. Darren Graham, 17 years old. He looks a decent striker, but we're going to let him go just now. The other one definitely want to get signed up. Then we lost in the Petrofac, a 4-1 defeat by Queen of the South. Ryan Hardy actually scored and got an assist against our under-20s. Danny Finlayson played against us as well. Inverness 5-0 over Bala, with Wilson playing in that game. Robbie McCrory's injured 2 to 3 days, nothing really significant. Our under-20s lost to Man City's under-23 6-1. A bit unfair, Gabriel Jesus with the Man of the Match award there. Why in the hell is he playing in an under-23s game? He's wanted by RB Leipzig. I would love to buy, even we could get him on loan or something like that, that would be magnificent. Podence is injured again. Riedel is 4.5 stars and could even get better than that. He's going to get snapped up by somebody sooner rather than later, I suspect. I think in real life he would already be playing for RB Leipzig. You know, we bought him in from Salzburg. Leipzig would be watching a quality player like that developing at Salzburg in real life, and they'd snap him up. However, tension turns right now, of course, the trip to Parkhead. 7 victories over Celtic, 12 losses against Celtic, only 1 draw. Would suggest that we're not likely to sneak a point here. Tim Gallagher out of the squad, as I say, for Liam Henderson, and we will bring Akram Afif back onto the bench. Other than that, same squad that played Falkirk, so Fulton, Riedel, Denswell, Wallace, Houston, Borthwick Jackson, Barjonas, Cataldi, Henderson, Horta, Morelos. That's the squad. Nothing left now to do but just go do it. Alright, 4-2-3-1 from Celtic. I know you'll all be keen to avenge what happened last time we played them. I'm going to tell them to show some passion today. Morelos playing it to Denswell, forward to Barjonas. It's a debut today. Old Firm debut for Denswell and Riedel. Everybody else has had a taste of this action before. So Celtic with the only 3 shots of the game in the opening 10 minutes. We're controlling possession though. We've now had 2 on target. Looks like a fairly even game thus far. Doing pretty well. Let's praise them. 25 minutes we're through. 0-0. Obviously a draw here is positive for us. We're top of the table. If we could draw it, we'd just keep the status quo at the top of the table, which would be nice. Although Fulton is going to ping it out now to Manuel Riedel. As something's going to happen, it's forward to Houston. He's going to take on his fullback. He's going to try, and he loses it to Viergever. Lindsay now forward to Christian Atsu against Borthwick Jackson. Rolls it in between the centre-backs. Leigh Griffiths now shouldn't manage to get it in from there. Nah, it's a comfortable save really for Ian Fulton. Good movement from Griffiths there actually to break between Wallace and Denswell, but they got back, tracked back and put him under pressure. Corner now from Tielemans though we need to deal with. It's in. Linus rises away by Denswell. Oosting picks it up. Come on, keep the pressure on him. But Jonas does. Gives away a free kick. Hopefully that will come to nothing. Yeah, won't even get to see it thankfully. Jordan Houston's picked up an injury. Sam Byron will come in, can play that wing-back position fairly comfortably, but Jordan Houston is playing pretty well today actually. 7.0 our highest rated player. Lost the ball to Linus actually in the run up to that chance for them. Oh sorry, to Viergever. But you know, the fact that he tried to take on his man suggests he was playing with a bit of confidence maybe today, but nonetheless, a poor first half here at Parkhead from both sides. Unlucky boys, things just haven't gone right so far is what I'm going to say, because 10-4 shot count Celtic's favour is obviously not positive, but at the end of the day, we're not losing. Henderson's coming off for McGinn just now. McGinn can slot in here. Let's make them this way round. Barjonas will be a deep line playmaker support with McGinn and Cataldi either side playing as box-to-box midfielders. So we're just going to try and shore up midfield a little bit. And Liam Henderson wasn't playing great today anyway. So we'll go with the three in the middle now. With Andre Horta just ahead of them, in behind Morelos. Linus finds Atsu. Looks for Griffiths, takes a nice touch, could shoot, plays in Sinclair, early chance, Celtic in the second half, good save, rebound, hits a bar. Oofed. That was a huge chance, and a big thank you goes out to Ian Fulton there. What a save that is. Scott Sinclair really should have scored. It was a great ball through by Lee Griffiths as well. Atsu causing us some problems in Celtic's right hand side. Borthwick Jackson not having a great game today after playing well against Falkirk. Fulton knocking it long towards Morelos, should be picked up by Celtic's defenders. It is indeed. Armstrong flicks her on, McGinn cuts her out though. They're the third man in the midfield now. Burjonas to Horta, come on, create something. Cataldi, go out right to Byram. Finds Wallace now, Borthwick Jackson. Can improve his performance a bit today, taking on Linus, beats him. Whipped in, should be easy for the keeper. No, it's come to Morelos. Oh, but it's an easy save in the end for the keeper. Morelos should bury that, but Wallace now. Let's put some pressure on them here. Cataldi tried to slip it to Borthwick Jackson. Lee Griffiths on him, wins it back for Celtic. Cataldi can't get it off him. Tielemans now rolls it to Armstrong. Sinclair's making a move on the other side. Byram can't stop him, takes a touch, shoots, scores. God damn it, Byram. Now we need to push forward. Now Byram has a 6.7 on that one. He just let Scott Sinclair coast in on that left hand side for an easy finish. It's a poor ball from Cataldi in the lead up to. Now Sinclair easily keeps it in. Byram doesn't get tight enough to him when he brings that down. I can just go back the way to the keeper again. Celtic pinging it out. Nordveit, Atsu, Oosting. They've got far too much room. It goes to Linus now as well. Marauding down the right hand side. Can get a cross in here easy. Unmarked. Whips it. It's header away. Just Tielemans though. Sinclair and Akers again. He's swept it wide. But we have to be doing better than that. Right, we're going to have to change it. Let's pause it please. Pause. Right, Denswell can stay on with Riedel I suppose. Wallace has been poor. He'll come off for a thief. I just trust him more than Ojo. Who's going to play wide right? But can anyone do it? What can Horta? Horta can play left. A thief can kind of play right. A little bit, sort of. Well, it's not great, but we're going to have to try something. We've used too many substitutes to change this around, and we don't seem to be creating any chances, so we're going to have to try something. It'll leave us more open, this. But there's no point in losing 1-0, we might as well go for it. Fat lot of good it's done us so far. 10 minutes left now. Overload time, higher tempo, more direct passing. Let's push the line up as well. Let's shout to demand more. Celtic corner. Martin Linus. Cut back for Atsu. Boosts his man. Shoots. Just calls it wide. And since the half-time break, you have to say it's been all Celtic. But here we have a corner. Can we nick something? Horta puts it in. Away by Vitor. Morelos nods it down. Away by Tielemans. Back out wide. There you go. Byram for Horta. Can he put a better cross in now? Beats his man with a touch. Into a thief. Shoot. Scores! No idea how Akram Afif sneaks that in. Let's contain. Let's get a point. And let's get the hell out of here. Go route one. Clear it to the flanks. No overlap, please. Narrow. Disciplined. Stay on your feet. Don't close down. Let's just try and get the hell out of here with a point. It's an amazingly lovely finish from Akram Afif. Somehow at that angle. Keeper though should do better, I must say. Tighten up now. Do we have play even safer? We do indeed. Let's drop even deeper then. And just try and sit in and defend at this point. Celtic have went 3 up top. Can we last? Oh no, I've got a horrible feeling about this. Sinclair in, Burjonas away. We'll come back to Sinclair. We could probably find Atsu in the edge of the box. That's exactly what he does. Blaze it over, son. Borthwick Jackson heads it away. Takes it right in the cooting. Linus picks her up now. Just over a minute left to hold on. Beaton knocks her over the top. Atsu's onside. Cuts her across. Denswell digs out the clearance. Linus now. Beaton again. Tielemans again. Linus is in acres again to whip this ball in. Pings it first time. Taylor arrives. Nods it to Armstrong. What a save, Ian Fulton. Go on, son. 40 seconds left to get a point at Parkhead. Tielemans whipping it in. McGinn rises and heads clear. Atsu picks it up. Atsu volleys it way over the bar. That's it. Time. Let's get our point and get the hell out of here. Remain unbeaten. Top of the league. Ian Fulton won't even take the goal kick. It is over. We've snatched a point. Exactly what we needed to do. I'm happy. There's some positives for sure out there, you know. The positive being the fact we got the point. We didn't exactly play well or deserve it. And 2 months for Jordan Houston. 30 shots for Celtic, 9 for us, and we managed to get a point. I would say that is a good day at the office. That was Jordan Houston's 100th appearance for Rangers, and he's torn his groin. That's really unfortunate for the young lad. Is he favoured personnel by Rangers now, Jordan Houston? He is indeed, yeah. Anybody up to an icon? Nope. Alfredo Morelos is a legend, alongside Walter Smith, Davy Cooper, John Gregg and Ali McCoist. Don't quite know what he's done to deserve that. 94 goals in 129 games, pretty good, but I don't know if I would call him a legend quite yet, of the Ali McCoist variety anyway. Nonetheless, that is it for this episode. It's a good day's work, you know. We only managed to score 2 goals. We weren't exactly electric up front, but we managed to beat Falkirk 1-0 there at Ibrox. Got the 3 points from that. Took us top of the league after Celtic failed to win at New Douglas Park against Hamilton. Then we went to Parkhead, and Akram Afif somehow at the death manages to sweep in the equaliser. 86th minute. Lost Houston due to injury, sadly, but we get the 1-1, and we managed to stay top of the table. Which, if we look at that table, we are 6-4-0 unbeaten. Celtic are 6-3-1. They lost that one game to Hamilton. Keeps us 1 point clear of Celtic. And that's all you can really ask for. You know, if you're 1 point clear after the 38 games, you win the title. So 1 point is good enough at the moment. I think, given the form we're in, we should be able to extend that. However, that's it for this episode. Next time out, we're going to be playing Athletic Bilbao away from home in Spain. Massive game that over in Basque Country. We've done really well in the Champions League so far. We'll be going with our 3 at the back formation once again. Sadly, Jordan Houston unable to play right wing back, so Byram will have to come in and hopefully show a performance in that game. Then we'll be going to Hampden to take on Celtic all over again. Hopefully it should be a little bit easier on us this time, because we won't have to go to Parkhead. It'll be a neutral crowd. So hopefully we can just play our game and do better than we did there. You know, we managed to snatch the draw, but we have to beat them at Hampden. So hopefully we can do that. But as for this episode, if you guys have enjoyed this one, please do drop down below and leave a like on the video. I really do appreciate that. And of course, to follow our seasons, particularly how we get on in the Champions League this year, and of course the league season's hotting up to be a good, closely contested title battle, you can obviously subscribe to the channel, which I'd be really grateful for. But mostly I just want to thank you for watching and say that I'll see you next time when we're over in Spain.